This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Brewers Outlet, and Purdy Insurance.
Always my pleasure to be joined by the outstanding Rich Scarcella. Sir, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. How are you?
Doing well, thanks for asking. So Brad Nessler comes up to me at halftime and he says, Steve, what's going on out there? And I said, Brad, if I knew, I would tell them. So I'll ask you, what was going on out there?
Yeah, I mean, sitting in the Rose Bowl press box in shock, like people there and Penn State fans there and Penn State fans back here in Pennsylvania watching. Yeah, I mean, I think it started, and James Franklin said this Saturday immediately after the game without being prompted. I think the opening sequence put Penn State on its heels. UCLA drove down the field, scored, and then recovered an onside kick because DeJuan Lane left his area, and honestly, there was nobody in the, I'm guessing on TV, there was nobody in the frame, a Penn State player in the frame.
That's right.
And then they drove down, and Penn State's defense, I'll say this, at least they held them to a field goal, UCLA, but the rest of the half, I mean, I've got to really lay it on the defense because UCLA had 285 yards at the half. And I'm like, it was stunning to me. This is the same defense that held Oregon to 17 points in regulation. So that was to me, and obviously they had trouble getting stops in the second half too. To me, that was the biggest takeaway, other than the result itself, is that the defense could not stop UCLA.
Right. I had said that the three games this month, so it would be UCLA, home with Northwestern, at Iowa. I said to people afterward, I said, I didn't think they would give up 42 points total in the three games, let alone one day. And the first question I asked James in the postgame show is, did you feel like that onside kick hung over the rest of the half? I mean, that's multiple possessions, and your defense it's not just multiple possessions. Your defense is on the field for 8 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Steve, the stat, and I was looking at this on the flight home yesterday, and I wasn't shocked by it. But, and I know you know this, Penn State averaged more yards per play than UCLA.
That's right.
Why? Because they ran 20 fewer plays.
Right.
And I don't you want to criticize the offense and that hasn't found its rhythm. Yeah, okay, sure. Criticizing the offense on Saturday is not the direction I would go in. I think yes. Did Drew Aller get sacked at the end of the first half? Yes. Did Luke Reynolds fumble after a great pass from Aller in the opening drive of the third quarter? Yes. Did they fail to score at the end for a variety of reasons? Yes. They only stopped one other time. Gabe Nuasso only punted once. To me, the other times they stopped themselves. And you still, if you scored 35 points, ended up with the safety 37. I know. You would have expected to win that game and win it pretty decisively. And so I think that's the stunning part, and that is actually, to me, the biggest concern going forward right now, not down the road. I'm talking about here and now, is the defense and how it rebounds from that performance.
The scrambles, four of them netted 120 yards.
Yes.
So that's the unplanned stuff. So what happens in a scramble? Scramble means you're getting pressure. Scramble also means there's nobody open downfield. Several of those times, a few of those times, I don't know if it's all of them, but Penn State was playing man. And, of course, when you're playing man, what's your back to? quarterback. And Penn State was 17% on the season defending third down and 5+. 17%. Third and 5+. Yeah. The first 3 third and 9s, third and 9+s that UCLA had, they converted because he scrambled for it.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of things there. There's no doubt about it. Nico was terrific. He was the reason why UCLA won the game. I mean, if you're looking at it from the UCLA point of view, I think Penn State needed to spy him more often. They didn't until later in the game, and it wasn't successful. That's one. I think, as Denai Dennis Sutton said, their pass rushers didn't stay in their lanes. That's what he said. I remember the 52-yard or 53-yard scramble.
Yep.
We're behind the play, and I'm not sure where your booth was, but where we were kind of behind it. And I could not believe how much open real estate there was in front of him.
Yep.
I mean, it was shocking to me. I know Tony Rojas got hurt, and it was a loss. I understand that. But the defense has to play better than that. You've got to overcome the loss of one player. I know it's a position they're thin, but this is the 5th game of the season as well.
That's right. No, it's not an excuse. I mean, when it happened, how it happened, that's a shock to the system for everybody, okay? But you also have had other guys playing during the course of the year, too. So they need to step up and make plays for you.
Yes.
Without a doubt. They also did a good job of, in certain situations, I thought UCLA did a good job at chipping the ends.
They did. They did. Yeah.
To their
with
credit,
you on that.
Yeah, they did a good job with that. That helped. But there's, again, Dick Girardi and I talk about this all the time in basketball. One of the keys to the game, and when we're ever talking about keys to the game, play with the lead. Penn State's got to stop playing from behind. They've got to be the team with the killer instinct out of the gate and go after somebody and make them chase them.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, you fell behind 17-3, but it was in the second half against Oregon. I get it.
Yep.
And then you fall behind 27-7, and at halftime it was crazy. You're sitting there and you're just like, is this real? It was almost surreal.
Yeah.
And I thought Drew Aller played his rear end off.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I thought. I mean, I don't want to point on, but I thought the throw to Luke Reynolds in the end zone should have been caught.
Yes,
and
I do too.
As unfair or not, Tyler Warren would have made that catch, and you would have had a tie or maybe a chance or go for 2. I don't know what James would have done.
Right.
But the point is, I thought he played a really, really terrific game.
Yep.
The scrambling, the pass to Hudson is a professional pass.
No doubt.
And it was a professional catch as well, by the way.
Yep.
But I just think there are things that there are mistakes, like the false starts, the unsportsmanlike conduct against Khalil Dinkins after making a terrific play, 40-yard touchdown. These are things you can't do.
Right.
You can't. I mean, this is a veteran team that was expected to contend for championships.
That's right.
And these are just silly, silly mistakes. Those are things that, at this point of the season, they can't happen.
Well, I'm sure in the comment sections of your extremely well-written columns, there are people that would like to make a change. Am I accurate about that?
There were people who wanted to make a change before they lost to Oregon, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah. I always say that the worst decisions are made in anger and panic. There's so much about James Franklin that in this current landscape of college football and college sports where I think he's a perfect fit for Penn State. That's me. People would probably expect me to say that. Doesn't matter. I'm entitled to my opinion. What's yours?
I can't defend Saturday. That's indefensible.
Agreed.
To lose that game against a team like UCLA. Okay. Having said that, I've been in James's corner. It doesn't matter, and I continue to be. But this team hasn't played from the start of the season. Hasn't played like it should be playing. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not inside Lash Building. I don't know why. I know the staff is a terrific staff. I know, that these players. There are a lot of talented players on this roster. That to me is the mystery. The mystery is, I said in a column last week, the mystery is how this offensive line has struggled after the way they played in the last 7-8 games last year. And now the mystery to me is how can a defense that played so well last year and played so well in the first 4 games just absolutely wilt against UCLA. It doesn't add up. But to answer your questions, yes, I don't think it matters. I do. I think James is a terrific college football coach. Yes, I don't think it matters what I say or you say.
That's right. I know it doesn't.
And but I do think that if they end up 8-4. I think, the criticism obviously is very loud right now, and that's as expected after you lose 2 games in a row. Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens. But I just, he was asked today at the press conference if he was considering any staff changes, and he said no, and, expressed faith in his staff. But yeah, this is a season, there are great expectations, and not just from the fans, by James Franklin, his staff, and the players. Yep. They went into this season thinking they could win a championship. So let's see what happens, but they have no margin for error from here on out.
Right. No, they don't. And we'll see, the word inconsistency, which has been brought up a lot by James. James has used the word inconsistently. That means you can run 20 plays, and 16 of them are really well run, and then 4 of them aren't run well. And the problem is it's a different person in all 4. That's what makes the coaching part so difficult. Yeah, and this is an experienced team. This isn't a team. You're not starting freshmen and sophomores. This is a team. The guys who are seeing the most playing time have been on this roster for a while, and have seen playing time, a lot of playing time, and you don't expect them to make such mistakes, blown assignments on either side of the ball. I'm not just talking about one side of the ball, on both sides of the ball. Yeah. I'm so, somebody said to me, what do you think happens over the next 7 games? I had to think there for a second. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to expect. Nobody knows. And, you go out, in their point of view, to them, everything is Northwestern. And it has to be. You have to somehow figure out a way to walk into a winning locker room and feel good about yourself. That's the beginning of coming back.
Yeah, 100%. I think I understand that. He mentioned that several times during the press conference, and that has to be the focus. You can't focus on anything else but Northwestern. Forget everything else. Just on beating Northwestern. And it doesn't matter how it matters if. You've got to. They've got to find a way to just focus on that one task.
By the way, who do the people who write in that want to change, who they want to change to?
That's what I've asked in the past, and I've never gotten an answer. So the people, like today I heard from 3 people. We had a technical, excuse me, I was going to say technological, maybe technological, too, problem with my column in our paper, in the Reading paper, that the second half of my column was deleted. And so I heard from people like that, and they're angry. I mean, the fans are upset, and I understand that, and I don't expect it to be a very happy Beaver Stadium crowd on Saturday.
No.
And I just think, I don't know where this goes from here, and in a lot of ways, but James is the backing of the right people, in the administration, and but if they go 8-4, I really don't know what happens. I don't know if that's if the fan base and donors and so on are going to be accepting an 8-4 season.
All right. Well, it's a passionate, incredible fan base. You can't get 111,000 people into a stadium unless you have that kind of passion, and I appreciate that passion tremendously. But there's always got to be a point where, when it comes to decisions, the coolest heads in the room have to be the one that prevail, not the ones that panic and have anger. That's how I
would agree with you on that. I would agree with you on that.
Right. At that point, right, it has to be, panic and anger are when the worst decisions are made. Now, I'm completely calm right now, and because of that, I know we have to take a commercial break. So thanks so much, Rich. Thanks. Appreciate your time.
Steve, anytime. I appreciate being on with you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, my friend.